I'm Lynn Moore, the Clear Goals Coach. Are there people in your life that raise your blood pressure? And you just want to swat them? Yeah. Well, you know what? I can tell you how to handle that. First of all, there's two things that you've got to have in place in your life if you're going to connect with your goals. One of those is having your own personal standards. Your personal standards are the things that bring the positive and the smiles into your life. These are things that people can count on you for. Let's see, let's look at a few. Perhaps it's honesty. Perhaps you pride yourself on having empathy and understanding. Or organization. You're very good at organization. I know a couple people like that. And you always do what you say you're going to do. And maybe another standard is that you're financially responsible, or you are loyal, or you always have good manners. So that'll give you some ideas as to what your personal ethics and standards are. Then the second thing is boundaries. Now, boundaries can be a little bit more difficult, and not enough people have them. Boundaries are the things that bring the negatives into your life. I'm sorry. Boundaries are the things that keep the negatives out of your life. Okay? So we want to have boundaries for that very purpose. These are the limitations that you put into place that protect you from the draining and negative behavior of other people. And also the things that other people do that sap your strength and your endurance. They're like your line in the sand. And if you're not quite sure what they are, then look at your standards first, and your boundaries will be the opposite. It's really easy. If you have a standard of being very honest, then you're not going to tolerate lying, stealing, and cheating. If you have a standard of being very organized, you're not going to tolerate clutter and mess very well. Maybe it's just something like you won't allow smoking in your home and your car. Well, that's fine. Maybe you're always on time and punctual, but other people that are tardy all the time, you just can't abide that. Things like rudeness, like abusiveness of any kind. Phone calls during dinner, something as simple as that. Abuse of alcohol and drugs in your presence. Profanity in your presence. But let's get really sure about one thing. Let's say that you're sitting in the park, and a bench over, there's a couple of people talking, and they're using a fair bit of loud profanity. You cannot walk up to them and say, okay people, I have a boundary that no profanity in my presence, so you have to stop. No. What you do is, you simply remove yourself. It's the same thing if you are in a crowd of people, in a room, at a meeting, a cocktail party, and smoking is allowed in the room, and you go up to the microphone and say, okay people, I do not allow smoking around me, I have a boundary, so you all have to stop. No. So, here's what you do. Sit down and ponder what your personal standards and your personal boundaries are. And make a list. Making a list is really easy. Once you get started, you're going to think of all kinds of things that, especially in the boundary area, you're going to find all kinds of things that you just won't tolerate. Oh, I'm not going to allow so-and-so to do this to me anymore. And you just can hardly write them down fast enough. So if you want to learn a little bit more, you can go to getwhatyowanteverytime.com. That's my free course that's going to teach you about setting the goals, your standards, boundaries, and a whole bunch of other good stuff. It is a free course. You're going to need to purchase some school supplies, but other than that, the coaching is absolutely free, and I'm out of gas. See you next time. I'm Lynn Moore, the Clear Goals Coach.